How far were you out when you discovered the body?
Well, we were just swimming around out there beyond that half-mile reef, Lieutenant, and all of a sudden, there he was. He looked like he was growing right up out of the seaweed.
What Don means, Mike, is that the body was cut in the kiln.
Anything else holding it down?
Just the seaweed.
Notice any strangers?
No, just our gang. We've been skin diving in this section every Saturday.
Look, the medical examiner and the boys from the lab are on their way down. You take charge till we get there.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mike, wait.
Remember something?
Well, yes, what about a story?
Oh, look, Val. This is Saturday. You're off duty.
Look, a reporter is never off duty. Why, some of the greatest news beats that have ever been scored have been when a reporter was...
Please, save me the complete history of journalism. I'm convinced. Only give us a chance to identify the body or at least get an autopsy report.
All right. When?
Well, drop into headquarters Monday morning.
Just as a favor to you, Mike. I'll wait.
Oh, thank you, Nellie Bly. Meanwhile, relax. You know how.
Look, I'm sitting in this bar minding my own business. These cops come in and start shoving me around. I've got a right to go into a bar and have a beer if I want.
Relax, mister. What's the pitch on this comment?
Well, we answered a call down on 5th Street and found this guy tearing up a bar. He refused to leave peaceably, so we brought him in.
It's a lie. That barkeeper was trying to clip my roll.
Yours?
Sure, it's mine.
There's almost $3,000. Where'd you get it?
Look, Copper, it's real, ain't it? That's the important thing.
Let's try it again, mister. You've got almost $3,000 in new money here. Where'd you get it?
It's none of your business.
We'll see. Look,
Come on.
Take your hands off!
Frank Larkin. Run a make sheet on him.
Yes, sir.
Report to Lieutenant Mike Travis concerning body found on ocean front.
Lieutenant?
Yes, what is it, first?
A report just came in on that body found in the ocean. Homicide, apparently knifed.
Any identification?
No, not yet. The only thing found in the body was this, $1,800.
More money? Well, looks like we hit the daily double. Run a check on the serial number of these bills. Just for laughs. Check those bills we picked up on the sailor you just booked.
Right.
And that currency has been out of circulation for 10 years. The file will disclose that a Navy disbursement officer withdrew $2 million from the Federal Reserve Bank for use by our counterintelligence in aid. The money was consigned to the destroyer Cornelius, which hit a loose floating mine just outside Yokohama Bay.
Yes, sir, but it says that the Cornelius rested on a ledge under the water, all hands were saved, and later 2 Navy frogmen went down to recover the money.
Read on. You'll find that as the frogmen cut into the Cornelius with their torches, they apparently hit the munitions section. Both divers were reported missing, and salvage operations were no longer feasible. The money was lost.
And now some of those bills are turning up on the West Coast?
That's right. And since you were a Los Angeles police reporter, we selected you for the assignment.
Yes, sir. I know all the local authorities.
Fine. Now, security demands that the United States government must not be involved in any way. You will have to use whatever facilities are available.
I'll manage, sir.
I guess that about covers it, Chase, except to wish you good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Well, how about the autopsy report? Did he drown? Any indication it might be murder?
You say that word like most girls say mink.
You're wasting your time, lady. These cops can't be bothered solving murders. They're too busy shoving out of citizens around.
Okay, Larkin, shove off.
Look, Buster, don't rush me. I'm gonna count this dough first, see? You sharks probably loaned it out at 6% over the weekend.
Who's he?
Look, lady, I'm just a poor sailor who won a few bucks coming back from Japan. I come here to relax and enjoy myself. And where do I spend my first weekend ashore? In jail, while dead bodies are floating all over the ocean.
You better go, mister, while you can.
Wait. Anything's better than writing recipes. I'll buy you a cup of coffee, and you can fill me in on the disgraceful conduct of our city's police force.
All right, lady. Be my guest. So long, copper.
Anybody home? Do I need this? You can't imagine the effort it takes to keep myself attractive to you.
Fine. Here. You're gonna need a good drink if this is what I think it is. Go on, read it.
Chanel Meadow. That's the boat the boys were on.
It's not the boat I'm worried about.
You don't think they'd be stupid enough to touch that money?
Money can make men do very stupid things.
I'm sure Sweet can be trusted.
When there's $2 million within easy reach, I'm not just sure who can be trusted. Remember, I've invested nearly 10 years and over $80,000 in this.
And now you are ready to go to pieces just because some sailor wins a few $1,000s. He probably won it from some of the crew. At least we know the ship made it safely from Japan to Panama.
Yes, the paper says he won it from a silk merchant.
Darling, Sweet and the others were not the only passengers on that ship. There were also legitimate silk merchants on it. Relax. That money's been out of circulation so long, Uncle Sam probably forgot it was ever printed.
You got any rooms for rent?
Brad, welcome back to sunny Southern California.
Oh, I see they got you on the Chamber of Commerce detail. It's good to be back, even if it is on business.
Obviously, that Washington routine agrees with you.
Thank
Wait till
you.
Val sees you.
How is Val?
Dedicated as ever. Have you heard from her?
Not recently.
Don't quote me, but she's become a darn good reporter. Almost as good on police detail as the last man the bulletin had.
Only almost as good? Val won't be satisfied until she's better. In fact, the best.
Well, she's still in that on skin diving.
Yeah?
Yeah, I kept that club going you started.
Did she?
Of course, even on the bottom of the ocean, she's still looking for news. Turned up our homicide just last Saturday.
You know, if this gal would ever learn to relax and take things as they come, she'd be the greatest. Oh, she doesn't know about my deal, does she?
No, no. We turned Larkin loose and put him under 24-hour surveillance.
Oh, good.
He's staying at the Vivian Apartments. We picked up every bill he's passed since we let him go.
Here's a complete list of the serial numbers.
And you think this money wasn't actually lost at sea?
Well, Mike, right now we don't know what to think. We do know that Larkin's boat, the Shinyo Maru, left Yokohama, Japan for Panama with 247 cases of silk. And so far, 240 cases have been accounted for. They were rerouted from Panama to Lima, Peru, and Buenos Aires.
And the other 7?
No trace. So, we've alerted all ports of entry, airports, and doubled the border guard. And we made a list of all ships that departed from Panama, and it narrows down to 2 freighters, 1 yacht, and a bunch of tuna boats.
Tuna boats.
Yeah? Why, Mike?
Could be a coincidence. But that body we found has been identified. He was a fisherman working the tuna fleet.
That sounds like more than a coincidence to me. Let's go check the tuna boats first.
Right. Let's go inspect some fish. told the manager to say that we're from the health department.
Well, that's good. When do they expect the other boats in?
He said they should be straggling in here over the next 2 or 3 days. Sometimes they come in one at a time, sometimes as much as a dozen at one time.
Maybe you ought to check with the Coast Guard.
That's such a long walk. I'll do it.
Valerie!
I'll take that.
Why, you going to tell me how well I look?
Give me time to make up my mind.
Oh, come on. I don't want a detailed analysis, just a spontaneous reaction.
You look fine. A little pale.
Office work, Washington climate. Not much skin diving on the Potomac.
Oh, you haven't changed much. When'd you get in?
Only this morning. That's why I hadn't called you yet.
Going to be here long?
I doubt it. I just stopped in to see Mike.
I know. I saw you getting in his car at headquarters.
So you followed us, dragnet style? Just couldn't wait to see me, huh?
Because I sensed a story. How about it?
Can we have dinner together?
Do I get the story?
There is no story.
And you're here.
Just to renew old friendship.
And that's why you and Mike piled in the car and made a wild dash to this fishing pier.
How can anybody look like you and still act like something out of the Third Road Company of front page?
Look, Brad, you might as well level with me because you know how persistent I am.
Oh, how well I know. Come on, I'll introduce you to the cannery boss. Maybe he can give you a dandy new recipe for tuna casserole.
Oh, Hardy.
I think it's Marvin. Is this about where he should be?
Yeah, this is it. We better wait till he gives us a signal, then.
Sorry I'm late, but they were having an unexpected health inspection on the pier.
Did you contact the boat?
Yes. I signaled them to go ahead with the second plan and bury the money in the underwater cave. Well, thanks, Charlie. You better go down to the beach. The tide will be right in about an hour, and they'll start putting the stuff down then.
$2 million in Davy Jones' locker. Sam, I wish I were a mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys. Go over the leeward side. 60 feet down is the ledge of rocks I told you about. There's the cave. And these are all natural compartments with big rocks in front of them.
Yeah, we got that.
Keep your eye out for sharks. These tuna boats draw them. Now he tells us.
We knew it. Come on, boys, let's gear up. Get going. Dwyer, I'm sure glad you know how to handle that spear gun.
Yeah, that shock could have spoiled our plans.
Aren't we supposed to meet somebody here?
Yeah. Yeah, there she is.
You boys had a nice swim. I put your things behind that rock over there. I'll join you at the car. Well, what are you waiting for?
I'm just looking at you for a bit. After all, it's been a long time.
Nothing has changed since the last time.
Except that now I have money.
Well, so far we've accounted for 16 boats. Nothing but tuna. No sign of any silk bait.
You know, one thing we can be sure of. If any of these fishermen are in on it, they'll contact Larkin.
Larkin's in on it. I don't think that he is. Outside of getting drunk, he's got a clean record.
Mike, look. Is it a water nymph? A mermaid?
Nah, it's last year's queen of the tuna fleet.
Madam, have a seat.
Very funny.
Oh, a sense of humor, too. Tell me, did you discover the secret of the Canary's tantalizing tuna?
Very important. Very.
All right, now that you've had your little laugh,
Now, Val.
will you please give me the story?
Talk about a one-track mind.
Why don't you tell her a story, Brad, while I go thank the manager?
Why, what story?
Well, I've always liked Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Well, there once was
Well, if I can't get a serious...
Now, wait about, Val. Val, I'll be serious.
I'm waiting.
I would like to buy you a martini. Seriously.
You're impossible.
So you said.
You remember that little place where we used to...
Oh, you mean the Anchorage?
Can I meet you there for dinner? Please?
For dinner.
Man, what a layout. Now, as soon as I get my share of this dough, I'm going to get me two. Just like this.
Not me, buddy. I'm going to get me as far away from that ocean as I can get. You know, I got me a place all picked out, sitting right up on top of a mountain. When I get my dough, I ain't even going to drink me no water.
Yeah, we all got plans. Sam, when are we going to cut up that dough? I don't want to hang around here any longer than I have to.
Sorry, boys, but that money's going to stay just where it is.
Why for?
Read that. That's why.
So what? What's that got to do with us?
What's the rumble, Sam?
Sam, I told you to forget it. They let Larkin go, didn't they?
Yes, they let him go. But I've been checking this. I put a tail on him a mile long. And just before I came out here, I got a call from Howie Dorrance. The cops are inspecting the tuna boats, looking for something. Are you sure that money wasn't touched?
I guess I should have told you, Sam. While we were lying offshore here, we discovered some of the bills on one of the crewmen.
How did you get them?
I don't know. Phil blew his stack when he saw it. He knifed the guy and we threw the body overboard.
That still doesn't explain how Larkin should have some of them.
It might. Might explain a lot of things. You were awful fast with that knife, Phil. Fast enough to keep the guy from telling us where he got the money.
Yeah. On the way to Panama from Japan, you spent an awful lot of time down in that crew's quarters.
What were you doing down there?
Just a friendly crap game.
How much did you lose, Knucklehead? Did you grab our dough to pay off?
No.
I'm gonna make you talk, Phil.
Okay. Shot craps with Frank and the steward. Lost what I had and I went on credit. When I got up to $3 grand, Frank started bellyaching. I had to pay off.
So you went down and helped yourself to some money from one of the packing cases.
I took 5 G's. I was going to tell you. But then I lost the rest of it to the fisherman on the tuna boat.
I had to break you in half.
Leave him alone for now.
Now, look, it's as much mine as it is yours. I'll pay you back. Just take it out of my share.
Will you be quiet? I'm trying to think.
Anything new?
No, sir. Been very quiet.
Well, there was a long-distance call for you.
Yeah?
A bank in Panama reported some of those bills. They were part of a deposit made by Pan American Airlines.
Yes? Were they able to trace the purchaser of the ticket?
It was Larkin. The plane ticket was purchased last week, and that checks with his story.
Ah. Well, our man in Panama is checking on the crew members of the Noir-Thriller. We should know something pretty soon.
Well, at least we know the money's in a safe place where no one will ever dream of looking for it.
Yeah, that was sure a good idea of yours, hiding it in the water. Cigarette?
We'll have to lay low for a while until the heat's off.
Well, why not? We waited this long, we can hold out a little longer.
Not too long. The watertight seal might have been broken when Phil helped himself.
What about Larkin? He can put the finger on Phil like that. He's liable to recognize any one of us.
I've been thinking about that, too. Sweet. Larkin is staying at the Vivian Apartments. There's a cop watching him, but if Lila goes along with you, she can keep him occupied for at least half an hour.
This clears Larkin. 3 crew members can verify his winning all that money.
I think I'll go talk to him anyway. Where'd you say he was staying?
Vivian Apartments, room 304. See the man on duty.
Oh, I made a date to meet Val. Will you tell her I'll be late if she calls?
Check, will do.
You slide behind the wheel and keep the motor running.
Hello, Ryan.
Dig the blonde.
Hello, Larkin.
Well, if it's not the silk merchant. What do you want?
I just want to talk
Well, what?
about you.
You're kidding now.
I wish you'd go to some air-conditioned restaurant so I could cool off.
I'm going up to talk to him for a minute. I'll be right back.
Here.
Did anybody just leave the apartments?
No. No one except that guy the doll was waiting for.
Yeah, what'd he look like?
Well, he's tall, well-built. I didn't watch too carefully. Why?
Well, I think he may be the strength on the other end of that knife. We'll take care of the details.
Well, we got a knife with no fingerprints on it. It's an odd-looking sort of thing.
It's a skin diver's knife. It's buoyed so it won't fall to the bottom. Cork handle makes it rise.
Interesting, but not very helpful. Well, this lab report doesn't tell us much either. Not a clear print in the room.
Nothing seems to tell us much.
Well, I'll tell you something.
Oh, Val. Oh, I meant to call and apologize about last night. I've been so busy working...
Just reminiscing with Mike. That's all you're here for, remember?
Now, Val, please don't get sore.
Forget it. That's not why I'm here. Why was I refused the reports on Frank Larkin?
My orders.
Your orders? Well, what right have you to deny an authorized member of the working press access to public records?
You still quoting from that journalism textbook?
I asked you a question.
All right. The file on Larkin is government property. Now, if that violates a principle that you learned in beginning journalism, I'm sorry, sue me.
Don't you patronize me,
Take it
Ratcliffe.
easy, will you?
Why, he's got you hogtied, hasn't he? Mike, I always thought we cooperated.
Oh, sure, particularly the story on Larkin.
Well, I had every right to print what I did.
Lieutenant, there's a call for you.
I'll take it out there.
Larkin has something to do with you being sent out here from Washington.
Please, Val, I can't discuss it.
Why don't you say what you mean? You won't discuss it with me.
Look, Val,
And the reason you won't is so very plain. Because then you'd have to admit that...
Admit what? That I think you're a very good newswoman? Well, I've never denied that.
Why did you do everything to stop me? Discourage me?
I was selfish. I had other plans for you. But you're wrong about me this time. There's nothing personal about this. I just can't open the Larkin file to anybody. Believe it?
It's just distressing.
Yeah, I get cheated out of a story.
To find out you can still make me lose my temper.
Well, I think that's very encouraging. Tell me, if I promise to wear sackcloth and ashes, can I take you to dinner tonight?
I dream of a day when all my daydreams fade away, when what I want and what I have are just the same. I long for the night when all night long I hold you tight, when love's become a way of life and not a game. Though I may daydream, what good can it do? What good is a daydream unless it's dreamed by two? So wake up your heart. Too long our dreams have been apart. Come share a daydream. Make it a yesterday dream. Come true.
How do you do?
This is an obvious trap, but I'll play straight man for you. How do I do what?
Keep getting prettier.
The Navy's improved your technique.
You remember the last time we were here? Night before I left for Washington? I asked you to marry me. But you had other plans. Are they working out for you, Val?
Of course, in spite of what you said that night.
I was sore. I was disappointed.
I've done very well. Lots of byline stories, offers from other papers. And 2 raises in the last 6 months.
And those are the things that make you happy?
How about you?
I've been working, but I can't say that I've been happy. A job just isn't quite enough for me.
You won't even try to understand, will you? I had to prove something.
Not to me, you didn't.
No, to my family and to myself. You don't understand what it's like to be the baby of the family. The only girl with 4 older brothers. They were wonderful guys, but they just made me feel that I couldn't do anything by myself. That if I didn't have some man around to lean on, I was helpless. Wasn't anything they meant to do to me. It just happened. Even in college, I couldn't get away from them. There was always at least one of them hanging around.
And then I came along, huh?
And you were like all 4 of them rolled into one. So strong, so reliable, and so superior.
And so anxious to look after you.
And so sure I couldn't do anything by myself.
I never said that.
Well, you didn't have to say it.
All right, okay, maybe I am a little bit overbearing. But look, Val, you're going to spend the rest of your life trying to prove you can get along without your brothers, without anybody.
Well, of course not. When I'm sick. What is it? Friends of yours? She's very attractive.
When's Sam coming?
As soon as he's got his picture taken with a swordfish he caught today. Next to a big swordfish, I think Sam likes me best.
Why don't you forget about him? Concentrate on me.
I've grown accustomed to these little odds and ends Sam provides.
Is that junk all you ever think about?
You know it isn't. Don't you? But I've got to think of the future. Sam gives me such a nice, secure feeling.
If I'm boring you, Mr. Chase.
Do you know either one of them?
No, why? Are they important, Brad?
I don't know. They could be very.
Well, why don't you ask Betty, the cigarette girl? She knows all the regulars.
Good idea.
Oh, I do have them occasionally.
Oh, you could be as smart as Sam.
You forget that I engineered this whole deal right from the beginning. I'm the guy that took care of that other Navy frogman when we dove down to take the money out of the destroyer. I fooled the whole United States Navy into thinking it was an accident that I was blown up to.
Of course, I heard all about your swim 2 miles underwater. But
Look, Lila, I took Sam in just to finance the boat and the equipment I had to have.
that's what I mean. You did most of the work. But Sam gets most of the money.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that, too. Lila, what about... Speak of the devil.
The man just sitting down is Mr. Marvin. He's a big sport, in and out of the water. The blonde's with him all the time. I don't know who the big guy is. Never saw him before.
Thanks, honey.
Thank you.
Mr. Marvin and friends, help any?
Not much. I want to know who the big guy is.
Drink up, Swede. Let's make a night of it.
No, no, thanks, Sam. If you don't mind, I think I'll get back over the beach. I've got some things to do. Will you excuse me?
Well, you don't deserve my help, but I have a very forgiving nature.
Oh, you have a plan? You're going to walk over and ask him?
I'm just a poor, helpless girl. But I'll do what I can.
You must learn to relax, my boy. Enjoy the finer things of life.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Oh, how clumsy of me.
That's all right. It's definitely all right. I don't think there's any particular...
You're very kind.
Chair, we'll deal you in. $10 on the 8.
No, thanks. Come on, Swede, get your feet wet. Phil's gonna give the party as usual.
Knock it off, will you? I say no, I mean no.
Sawbug.
What's eating?
Maybe Sam's girlfriend turned him down again.
Call.
I'm on.
You're hearing things.
You think I had him, huh? Calls for a drink.
Pour me one, too.
Not from this bottle. You know one in the bar.
Where do you hide that bourbon?
Oh, put the light on, you'll find it.
Never mind. I got it.
He left 3 hours ago, but this is about the earliest he can go down.
Look, he has my boat. You fellas better hurry. He's down there now. Remember, this has to look like an accident. He'd hardly shoot himself underwater.
like your money, Brad. Navy fingerprint file shows this man's been missing for 10 years.
That's right. Eric Nelson, alias Swede. One of the two Navy frogmen lost trying to recover the money. 10 years ago.
Doesn't seem possible.
Pick him up, Mike. I think Mr. Nelson may know where our money is.
Lieutenant Travis. Oh, he's right here. It's for you.
Thank you. Hello.
Oh, Val.
What? You're at the lifeguard station? Yeah, I know the spot. We used to dive there. Okay. Well, Mike, looks like you don't have to pick up our friend after all.
Why not?
He just came in with the tide.
Yeah, that's my boy, all right. Looks like I'm right back where I started from.
And I've got another murder in my hands.
Did you find the body, Val?
No, Don called me.
You always call the newspapers before you call the police.
Is this really another murder? Who did it?
Where did you come from? The lifeguards called you, too?
No. They just with them.
Say, did you happen to take any pictures of the body?
Yes, I did. What of it?
Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to give them to me.
Oh, now, just a minute, Brad. She has every right to photograph anything she pleases. This is a public beach. And besides, I asked her to take the pictures.
Look, Val, you have no authority in this. Are you going to give me the pictures?
No.
All right, Mike, take her downtown and book her.
Come along, honey.
I haven't done anything wrong. Why are you arresting me?
Indecent exposure.
You lay a hand on her and you'll both regret it. The same old high-handed methods. No one has any rights but Mr. Bradley Chase. And if anyone dares to stand in his way, we'll just shove them aside because they don't matter as long as you get your precious way. Well, I've tried to be fair. Ever since you came back here, I've taken your insults and listened to your double talk. Because I was letting my personal feelings get in the way.
Huh. Personal feelings? Not you.
I'm through. I've had it. But let me tell you something. I'm going to get this hush-hush story of yours, and I'm going to see that it's printed without your help and without your permission. Here. You've won the first round, Mr. Chase. But the fight has just started. Come on, Susie, let's get out of here.
You still standing after that blast?
I'm tottering.
You have been pretty rough on her. She has got a job to do.
Well, look, Mike, so have I, and I don't want publicity. I can't risk losing that $2 million just to make Val happy.
I think you're underestimating her, Brad. She's a pretty sharp gal.
You're telling me.
Oh, here's the medical examiner. Coming?
No, you on ahead. I want to talk to the lifeguard.
As I remember, these rocks go out to sort of an underwater shelf.
Yeah, I know. I've taken loads of pictures of those underwater rock formations.
Well, there's something out there, Susie. People are getting killed because of it.
What?
You want to take a dive?
Out there?
Yeah. All right, get your underwater camera, and I'll get my gear.
Anything unusual in the past couple of days?
No, sir. Just people on the beach. Not even much skin diving or spearfishing. When the tuna boats come in, they bring in too many sharks.
Let me borrow this for a second. Thanks. Oh, there been any boats anchored out here?
No, sir. They don't come in very close. Too many rocks. About the only kind of boat that'd be safe around here would be a dory or an outboard, like our rescue boat.
Well, what's she up to?
What'd you say, sir?
Huh? Well, nothing. You got any spare gear?
Yeah, a boathouse full.
Huh?
Beautiful down there.
Yeah, it sure is. I'll move the boat around slowly.
You think that she'll...
Susie's gonna be all right. She just panicked.
I feel so guilty.
You should. I warned you not to meddle. What am I gonna have to do, put you in leg irons?
Look, you saved our lives, and I'm grateful, but that doesn't mean I've got to be wet nursed.
Oh, boy. What am I trying to prove? Hi, Brad. My little ray of sunshine.
We just got some more news on Eric Nelson. Washington's made further investigation. They turned up the fact that Nelson, under the name of Erickson, was once in a salvage operation in the Orient with a man by the name of Howard Dorrance. Now, this Mr. Dorrance owns a tuna boat named the Shanty Girl.
Wait a minute. That's one of the boats we looked over the other day.
Huh?
Here it is, owned by Howard Dorrance.
Came up from Panama. I'll bet you my discharge papers that fisherman's body also came off of Dorrance's boat.
Well, do we pick him up?
Not yet. No.
So first of all, we don't know where the money is, and secondly, we don't know who else is involved. I just can't believe that this whole thing was masterminded by a fisherman or a diver.
Oh, excuse me, Mike. I didn't know you were busy. I'll come back later.
No, I'll leave.
Wait a minute, Brad. Miss Hudson, meet Mr. Chase. Or are you two still strangers after all these years?
You mean well, Mike, but really
I don't mean well. I'm getting a little sick and tired of always being in the crossfire between you two. Don't you think it's about time you grew up?
Well, maybe Mike has a point. So go on with your story.
Oh.
Well, that's where we stand now. There's nothing to do but just wait for the next move.
You may have a long wait.
I don't mind. Do you?
Oh, Brad, I have missed you.
Oh, darling.
I've wasted so much time.
We'll make up for it.
Oh, I think we'd better go.
Okay. Penny.
You'd be overpaying.
Tell me something. What were you and Susie looking for when you went out diving yesterday?
Oh, I don't know. I had some silly idea that maybe we'd stumble across a sunken treasure ship or something like that. And maybe it was something to do with the murders. Childish, huh?
Maybe not. Swede was killed while he was diving. What better place to hide $2 million than out there?
You mean I might actually be right?
I hate to have to admit it, but there's a possibility.
Well, it's a big ocean. How could you ever hope to find it?
Spend the rest of your life looking. Unless the guy that hid the money happened to lead you to it.
Brad, I've got an idea. Come on. We've got to get to the paper before the midnight edition goes to press.
Huh? Treasure discovered in ocean. Girl diver finds currency off Southern California coast. Valerie Hudson, reporter on the Daily Bulletin, whose hobby is skin diving, today reported the discovery of an undisclosed amount of United States currency hidden on the ocean floor. Miss Hudson, when questioned, refused to give any detailed information.
One chance in a million. That dame has to dive right in the spot.
We are not sure this is our money. It might be a coincidence.
Some coincidence. Maybe. But we can't afford to take any chances. Joe.
Yeah?
You and Phil go find this girl and bring her here.
Right.
Dwyer, get the boat and diving equipment ready. With this article in the papers, it's liable to give the public ideas about treasure hunting.
Don't worry, darling.
Well, it's a neat trick if it works. Anyway, we'll be prepared by dawn. Harbor Patrol is alerted. Helicopters standing by. Squad cars are watching the beaches. The minute the Dorrance's boat leaves the docks, we'll be notified.
Well, you got our divers lined up?
The best. They're to meet us at the lifeguard station.
Well, I guess we can grab some shut-eye on these chairs.
Boy, could I use it.
Be my guest?
Not me. I'm an old softy. See you in the morning. Pleasant dreams.
Good night.
Here she is, Sam. We waited for her at her apartment.
Find anything?
We took the joint apart piece by piece, but nothing.
Won't you sit down, Miss Hudson? I presume you're wondering why you've been invited here.
Invited?
In a way. By a strange coincidence, I discovered that we are both devotees of the same sport. We both love the thrill and excitement of underwater search. By an even stranger coincidence, I find that we are both seeking the same objective.
What do you mean?
Money.
I don't understand.
Oh, come, Miss Hudson. I'm not a fool. I can't read. Let's stop playing games, shall we? You found some money which I believe belongs to me. Now, where is it?
Oh, you mean that newspaper story? Oh, that was just a publicity stunt.
Hmm?
Oh, for a skin divers club. We were trying to recruit members for it.
Aren't you the girl who dropped your handbag at the Anchorage the other night? I'm sure of it. She was wearing
Never mind that now. Lila, take the boys down and bring up that money. I'll be waiting on the pier around the cove. Miss Hudson, you will come with me while they investigate the truth of your statement.
It'll be sunup in about an hour. Everybody get your gear on.
Okay, check your regulators and see that your knives are good and sharp. And make sure you have plenty of air in your tanks.
Lieutenant Chase. Oh, excuse me. Val promised to pick me up, and when she didn't show up, I went to her apartment. You should see the place. It looks like a cyclone hit it.
What about Val?
I don't know. She wasn't there. I'm really worried. I think something's happened to her.
Oh, we should have never left her out of our sight.
I hope for your sake, Miss Hudson, that the money's still there. It would be a shame to find that you were untruthful. I think the time has come when we must get better acquainted. Don't make a sound.
Any sign of the tuna boat?
Not a thing.
Well, sure they'd be here at the crack of dawn.
Nothing out there but a bunch of fishermen. And they're not catching a thing.
Yeah? Let me take a look. That's our fish. I can see the divers going over the side. All right, Mike, get the boys rolling. But be careful of the boat. Val may be aboard. You stay here. I'm gonna go out to the pier and get a boat. Take a look at that cruiser. We've got to find Val. Buddy.
Oh, hello, Chase.
How's it going?
Well, pretty quiet down here, except for a couple of obvious honeymooners.
Where's the power boat?
It's tied up down at the end of the pier.
Company. We'll have to go into our act again. You know, I'm beginning to enjoy this.
All right, fish him out and book him.
Right.
We better get down to the cove.
that it's all over, I suppose you'll be going back to Washington.
Yeah, I guess so. Val, the last time I left, I asked you a question. Would you...
Oh, of course I will. I thought you'd never ask.
Hey, Val, what about the story?
I'm off duty for the moment.
What do you mean? A reporter's never off duty. Well, you know some of the great...
Please, spare me the complete history of journalism. I'm convinced